Hi guys, KatimaGaming here, and today I want to give you my personal tips on how to be smarter when it comes to buying video games, how to save money on them, how to make sure you don't waste money on bad ones, and how to make games really worth it for your time and your wallet. People are actually spending more and more on video games these days. As a matter of fact, there's a research I read somewhere that the average gamer spends about $150 a year on video games. That's not even including DLCs and microtransactions. But in the era of economic difficulty, we're all becoming more conscious in how we spend our money. And even though we still spend for video games, a lot of us waste them on games we actually don't like, leaving us with what we call the list of shame. So in this episode, I will run with you 5 major tips on how to strategically spend your hard-earned money smartly when it comes to video games, and even stretch the value of your games to make it even more worth it. Number 1, time is money. One of the major barometers in calculating if the game is worth it or not is the amount of time you actually play it. Be it from beginning to end like an RPG game, or the fun loops of sport games, or the multiplayer games out there, one of the most common measurement is called hours per dollar. It's just a philosophy. It states that if you spent $60, for example, on a game, you should spend about 60 hours playing it to make a safe conclusion that the game was actually worth the money you spent. Like I said, it's just a philosophy, so the price of the game should match the hours you actually play it on. It's not scientific or academic, it's just for your peace of mind. However, there are instances that you do end up buying a game you actually don't like and don't enjoy playing, but you force yourself to play it anyways because you think you can get your money's worth. But by doing that, you're actually wasting more money on it by wasting time doing something you don't enjoy. Let's take the chicken analogy. So let's say you buy a nice barbecue chicken and eat it at home. You realize that it tastes bad, it's not your thing, it's probably too spicy, but you already paid for the barbecue chicken already. So now in order to make sure that it doesn't go to waste, you force yourself to eat it thinking that, you could recuperate some of the cost. But the truth is, if you don't like the chicken, just don't eat it. You could give it to someone else or re-season it, or as harsh as this may sound, just throw it away. Just throw it away, and now at least you know that that kind of chicken is not for you. This is simply because by finishing the chicken that you don't like, you actually end up wasting your time by not enjoying the experience, and it might even leave you sick. Same goes with video games. When you buy a game and you end up not liking it, you could give it a chance or two, but if you really don't like it, just stop. Stop playing. Try to get a refund if possible, or resell it if it's a physical copy, or just add it to your list of shame and remind yourself to do better research next time. The reason why you should never force yourself to play a game that you don't like is because you end up wasting more money with the time you spend playing the game you don't enjoy. If time is money and playing a game for a certain amount of time is equal the amount you paid for, then it should be the time you actually enjoy. Forcing yourself to play games you don't enjoy just because you paid for it will make you waste time, and if you waste time, technically you even waste more money. Take me for example, I pre-ordered Anthem. I know, stupid me. 3 hours in, I couldn't get into it, but I paid full price for it, so I felt like I needed to give the game all the chance that it deserves. At least I thought it deserves. 10 hours in, still no spark. I just didn't enjoy it. I should have stopped at 3 hours, but no. I gave it 10 hours, 10. And I felt like that was such a waste of time. I should have just stopped playing then and there if I didn't like it, which all that time could have been used doing something else more useful. So time is money. Number 2, never preempt. So what does this mean? Well, basically, never pre-order, never buy early access, never buy on launch day, and never trust a preview review. Guys, seriously, this is a huge problem in the industry, and it's because of our behavior to preempt buying games. We end up with an industry that actually takes us for granted, and they end up releasing games that aren't even finished yet. This is really all our fault because we funded this behavior. Always wait for a review. This is the reason why content creators buy games on launch, to make content and make you a more informative buyer. This has been a really big problem in the past decade. Companies release games half-baked, hoping to fund its development further by convincing people to buy games early or on launch day. This of course comes with pre-order bonuses, with eventually, most of the time it's not worth it. This is crucial, especially to shorter games. Now, following up on number 1, time is money. But what about short games like Stanley Parable, Journey, Firewatch? All great games, by the way, but all are finishable under 3 to 4 hours. So with short games like these, time is money becomes less of an issue, but rather, is the short time spent on short games really worth it? This is where reviews really come into play, because short games are usually niche games for specific gamers, and it's not for everyone. So if possible, please hold out for a review or 2 or 3. This way companies will be more wary about releasing games half-baked, only to fix it later once more money comes in. That's a crime to release a game or to release an unfinished product, and we actually fund this crime. So guys, please stop it. Of course, there are the early access. That's a risk you'll have to consider yourself. People do reviews of games on early access as well, and if it's a small indie company that you truly believe in and you truly believe in their project, then by all means, at your own risk. There have been many games that were funded by early access and turned out to be massively successful. No Man's Sky, obviously, Subnautica on the top of my head, No Oxygen Included, Green Hell, just to name a few. Valheim, for example. Wow. So yeah, let's challenge the industry, guys. Let's be more wary about the money we spend as gamers, because as gamers, we're actually considered smarter than the average consumer, so let's prove it. Regardless if you have money to burn or not, be an informed buyer. Number 3, free games are getting better. Why spend if you can get it for free, right? Some of the free games out there today are actually some of the most played and most popular games out there. Okay? Games like, Dota 2, Apex, Warframe, Destiny 2, Warzone, Fortnite, Path of Exile. Oh my gosh, I can't believe these games are free. Of course, microtransactions galore, that's not avoidable, but there are free-to-play games out there that are even better than paid games with content that lasts a lifetime, so you might want to consider that as well. Also, why not make an Epic account? Okay, relax, everyone, just calm down, just relax, it's just a suggestion. Don't come into my house and try to cut my balls at night, okay? I'm just saying. Let's think about this objectively. Epic gives away games every month for free. Making an account is also for free, and those games are free forever. I've had an Epic account since the launcher came out, and I probably have like $500 or so worth of free games in my library. And these are not cheap games too. Some of these are actually AAA. Games like Rage or Control, for example, was free to keep. NBA 2K21, Kingdom Come Deliverance, A Plague Tale, Darkest Dungeon, Metro Last Light, MudRunner, Neo, oh my gosh, and so much more games that would actually cost you $40 to $50 are absolutely free. So yeah, Epic might not be the most popular company right now in the gaming industry, but by just making a free account, you can start accruing free games on it right now. As a matter of fact, there are people out there selling their Epic account for cash. Okay, they're selling their accounts because of all the games in their library, which are, actually all free. So the value is undeniable. Objectively, okay? So let's just all relax here. So yeah, don't be afraid to look for free games all over the internet across different launchers, okay? Ubisoft gives away games for free occasionally, and Origins always have good deals going on. Steam, of course, it's a no-brainer. And Battle.net? Okay, you know what? F that launcher. Number 4, don't ever buy sports games at full price. Yep, if you like sports games like NBA, Madden, FIFA, PES, eFootball, you should consider buying them later on when they become cheaper. The reason why I discourage you to buy them on launch day or even at full price is because most likely you won't play all the modes in those sport games, modes that you actually paid for. Think about it. Okay, let's look at FIFA, okay? There are so many modes in FIFA. Volta, World Cup, female competition, online ultimate team, career mode as a player, career mode as a manager. Oh my gosh, there's so many modes. Will you actually invest the time and play all of them? Okay, if you're the type who actually needs the game on day one because you're competitive and you want to rise the online ranks ASAP, by all means, because that's probably a career for you. But for those who actually enjoy just one or two modes in these sport games, you might want to consider getting them on a discount later on, or even better, when they actually go free. I would even go as far as recommending earlier editions of these yearly sports titles, as the changes every year aren't even that big anymore. Like for me, when Epic gave away NBA 2K21, oh man, I grabbed it right away. I didn't care if NBA 2K22 was out there already. I was having a blast, and I'm still playing NBA 2K21 right now. And the gameplay didn't really change that much, to be honest. Another example is I love playing Master League on PES or career mode on FIFA, and even my GM in NBA 2K. These are the only modes I actually play with when it comes to sport games outside of couch co-op, with my friends when they come to visit. I like seasons passing by and watch the world in the game change with trades, relegations, promotions, draft picks, and even young players getting generated and coming up. That kind of world building in your own sports universe kind of intrigues me. I'm absolutely not interested in competing online. I mean, other than with friends, if you watch my PES Rage video, you'll know why. These kids online take the game too seriously and will utterly destroy me. And you know what? I'm just there to have a good time. So if you want to buy a sports game, think about the modes you'll play and think about the modes you will not play. I mean, don't forget, you paid for all of the modes. So if you're going to choose just some of the modes to play, why pay full price for them? It's like buying a Lamborghini and using it to just listen to music. Okay, that was a stretch, but you know what I mean. It's the reason why I really appreciate EA Play and Xbox Game Pass, because for as low as $5 a month, not only do I play all these sport games for cheap, but I can grab all sorts of games to try out as well. And that leads me to our last tip, number 5. Consider monthly subscriptions. Of course, this isn't easy, especially for those who actually don't have regular income or don't have a debit credit card of their own. But think about it, guys. If you subscribe to a game service like EA Play or Xbox Game Pass, that really stretches out the worth of your video games. For as low as $5, you can download a crap load of games from all different kinds of genres in their catalog. This is especially worth it if you want to play games with short campaigns, such as games from the Battlefield franchise, Battlefront, Star Wars, It Takes Two, Need for Speed, The Sims. Oh my gosh, the list is endless. And if you're not sure of buying a game yet, but it's on a subscription list, then just subscribe for a month to try the game out. I mean, $5 still is cheaper than $60 at the end of the day. I love it because I play FIFA on the EA Play subscription, and even though I play the older iterations, I'm still enjoying myself, and I only play manager mode, so definitely worth the $5 a month. I also love it because I get to play The Sims on this subscription, and I don't even play the game. I actually just need the game to design houses and take screenshots, and then I show it to people and tell them, yeah, I'm a professional house designer / architect, but the truth is I only use a video game to design these houses. I actually had a cousin who wanted to know more about the Mass Effect franchise, but was afraid to actually buy Andromeda because he hasn't played the earlier series. He was even considering to buy the Legendary Edition at $60 on his birthday, and I was like, oh my gosh, here, $5. Take it. Go buy a subscription to EA Play, play Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, play Dead Space 1, 2, and 3, play Dragon Age and all of its iterations, play Crysis. Heck, I'll give you $10. Okay, take your time. You're welcome. So before you want to buy a game, especially if it's not a new game, do your research and have a look if it's on a subscription list, like on PlayStation Now, Uplay Plus, Humble Choice, for example. These services all provide great alternatives in building your library, and when your subscription ends, hey, no biggie, take a break or renew it, no pressure. At least at $5, you have that peace of mind knowing that the philosophy that time is money is no longer an issue. And that's it for me, guys. So those are the top 5 tips in making you a smarter buyer. I sincerely hope that you've learned something new from this episode. With seasonal game sales coming really fast, please be vigilant and always keep in mind that the games you buy affect the industry, and what affects the industry affects us all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps smaller channels like mine out, and I'll see you in our past, present, and future videos. Sawasdee krap.